Well, it's been a really long time since I finally got to do an update on this. Oh god, it's been since November, I think, of last year when the 2019 DCFL season finished. But now it's finally time to announce the beginning of the 2020 DCFL season that was long delayed, as there was a lot of reasons for it. The main reason why was that I updated the game and I changed the game it's on. The last 2 years I've done on American Football Simulator, which is of course a Java game. I now, over the summer, in spring I mean to say, I uploaded it to PFS, Professional Football Simulator, which is why I used to do PFA and UFL and such, as it was a pain to do and all. But I managed to do that, and then a problem came where I had a massive problem working on the schedule because for some reason some teams just kept getting incorrect number of home and away games, even though the rest of the teams were getting the correct dates. I have no idea why. It was just weird. So, before I get to that schedule though, I have to talk about a massive amount of changes DCFL is going to go through in 2020. So the first change we had for PFA was that, remember the last 2 years, Jake and Matthew had two teams. Jake had the Charlotte Bobcats and the Pittsburgh Power. Meanwhile, Matthew had the Oakland Pillagers and the Phoenix Devils. Well, we had a couple more people coming in, so I figured I'm going to take one of their teams away. That way everyone can have one each. So, one of the teams that was created was by Patrick, as he made the Boston Red Jackets. Hope to see how well he'll do this year. Hopefully a lot better than Kava and Najee did in their expansion. And then the next new team was by Julian, who was one of Aaron's buddies in his CKFL on Madden 20. Sadly, he left the game, left this series, most likely because of the Rage Couple and because of the delays doing it. So the team is abandoned right now, but it's going to continue going on, as this is the Mexico City Bolts, as they are the first team outside of North America in DCFL. Another expansion team, so hopefully they'll do good, especially since their owner had to jump from the league. But we're not done yet, of course. Jake, he dropped the Charlotte Bobcats and he took the Pittsburgh Power and he actually relocated them to Kansas City, where they are now the Kansas City Arrowheads. So of course, because of that, we're going to have to move the location of the championship to a neutral site. But then again, it probably won't matter since the game will be neutral anyway, since the last 2 years were in Arrowhead. So that will be kind of interesting to consider for the next site. Maybe Hawaii, since no one's there. And then finally, the last change was another relocation, as Gavin's team, remember, they were the LA Mean Green Machines, while he moved them to his hometown San Diego, so now they're the San Diego Mean Green Machines. Hoping, just like how the Chargers did in real life when they were originally the Los Angeles Chargers in 1960 before they moved to San Diego from 1961 to 2016. Hoping they'll do a lot better than the 4-12 record last year. But other than that, Matthew, of course, got rid of the Phoenix Devils, as he has the Oakland Pillagers remaining. So we have 12 teams, and each one having one unique owner. But we're not done yet. Due to all the changes with the teams and all that, I had to do a massive realignment with the conferences this year. So of course, last year in the Eastern Conference had the New York Gangsters, the Baltimore Charm, the Jacksonville Scouts, the Philadelphia Sonics, the Pittsburgh Power, and the Charlotte Bobcats. While the Western Conference had the Indianapolis Express, Chicago Staleys, Oakland Pillagers, LA Mean Green Machines, Seattle Tenyo, and the Phoenix Devils. Now, with Mexico City, San Diego, Kansas City, and Boston in, I had to do a massive changes. Since Kansas City is more to the west than Pittsburgh was, I decided to move Kansas City to the Western Conference, as Mexico City would be put in the Western Conference as well. Boston would be put in the Eastern Conference, and since Indianapolis, of all the cities in the Western Conference, was the most eastward of all of them, I decided to put them in the Eastern Conference. So, my goodness God, the Eastern Conference is loaded with talent. It's going to be pretty scary too, think of it. Indianapolis, the two-time champs, Jacksonville, Baltimore, New York, all made the playoffs last year, with Philadelphia and Boston probably being the teams in the back. So one of these really good teams is going to miss the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Western Conference is up in the air. Chicago and Oakland, remember, they were the teams that made the playoffs, but who knows what will happen with the other 4 teams. And finally, to wrap up the video, here is the schedule for the 2020 DCFL season, as it was a pain to make. I had so many problems with it, making sure everyone had equal amount of games. Like, it just would not work before finally I tried an idea and it actually worked. Now, before I begin the DCFL 2020 season, there is one more thing I need to do. I need to make a brand new layout for the game results. I'm going to try this with PFA in 2019 and UFL in 2021, their upcoming seasons. But since that's going to be a while away, I'm going to try it on DCFL first, where I'm going to try and show all the games on one screen and try and fit them on there. DCFL will be easier to do since everyone plays 6 games each week. So they'll be free by free on each side. So I'm going to try it out and see if it works or not. And if it works well, I'm going to do that next season for PFA and UFL. So it's going to be a bit before I make it, because I'm going to have to take the layout and multiply it by 5, basically, in a free by free grid. So that's going to take a little bit of work. But once it's done, and if it looks good, the 2020 DCFL season will begin. Hopefully not too long. So hope you all enjoyed hearing that DCFL is back, and we'll get ready to go for another season very soon. I cannot wait.